all morning. The Fox 61 Morning News starts now.
All right, now at 6 o'clock, another school threat has led to an increased police presence at 2 Waterbury schools this morning. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61's education reporter, live with details on what you need to know.
Had a teacher accused of years of inappropriate behavior with several students back in court today, as several educators have been held responsible for not reporting it.
And an incredible inside look at NASA's mission to launch a spacecraft right into an asteroid. A crash course that went off apparently without a hitch. We'll tell you more about the years of work, the celebrations that happened, and the big why behind it all right now at 6 o'clock.
Very cool. Good morning. Thanks for being with us this Tuesday here at Fox 61. I'm Erica Arias.
And I'm Tim Lammers. We're going to start with more celestial matters here. Check on the weather on this planet, this rock.
And now let's go to the man whose head is in the sky, right? Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Didn't know where you were going with that, but that worked out very well. Thank you. And trying is very hard to do when the coffee hasn't kicked in yet, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Here's what you need to know. It's a quiet, slightly cooling trend over the next couple of days. We have a dry streak taking over for the duration of the week. We're going to put rain on hold after last night's, for some of you, a couple of thunderstorms. Ian, he's a dangerous storm bearing down on Florida. The path after that, though, is questionable, and I'll explain that coming up. 58 degrees in Hartford, 64 in New Haven, 60 in Groton. A look at a cloud and radar perspective. Winds still out of the west-southwest. A little bit of rain, last of it on the eastern side of the state. Not expecting any of this to be a player that should move off towards the north. Here's your bus stop forecast. Cloudy skies now, 56 degrees later on as the high schoolers get off the bus. 71 degrees. If you've got afternoon practices today, you have nothing at all to worry about. Details on that forecast coming up in a few. Lauren Zenzi, her head's in the clouds right next to mine, except because you're a little shorter, I can see farther, that's all.
All right, I'll give you that one. 5'2" and proud over here in the short kid committee over here. Good morning, everyone, in the CTDOT Traffic Center. Now the construction is wrapped up, not really a whole lot to get to. Let's bring you out to the Hartford area. We are seeing a little bit of delay still from construction on that eastbound side of I-84, but overall, nothing to complain about. Hartford drive times, 91, 84, Route 2, all looking good as of right now. Glastonbury to the Founders Bridge will take you about 6 minutes on Route 2. 91, like I said, and 84, no delay to report at this time. As we take a live look out in Wethersfield, construction is wrapped up. Traffic is moving freely right on I-91 north and southbound. Same thing following suit over in and out of the Mixmaster over in Waterbury. This is right near exit 37. And also down in the Fairfield, New Haven area, 95 and 91 all moving smoothly. 84 looking good in the Danbury area as well. We'll check in again coming up in the next 30 minutes. But for now, Tim and Erica, good morning to you.
Good morning, Lauren. Thank you.
Yes. All right, 6:03. This morning, 2 Waterbury schools are actually going to start the school day under a shelter-in-place order after there was another social media threat.
Yeah, the schools we're talking about here are Enlightenment School and Reed Elementary School. For much more, we're getting you straight out to Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc. She's joining us live in the Brass City with much more. Julia.
Hi, good morning to you. Yeah, this is important for parents to know that this is all just as a safety precaution, but they will have an extra police presence at the school today, and they will also have no outdoor activities at the school. Now, this is all after school administrators found out about a social media threat, which was directed for today, the 27th, for Enlightenment and Reed schools. Now, they didn't say if both schools were mentioned, but the two are right across from one another. So this shelter in place applies to both of those. Now, this is just one of many threats that have been made at the Waterbury school system over the last 2 weeks. Just yesterday morning, Enlightenment School had to be evacuated because of a bomb threat. Police say the school was safely evacuated and the incident is still under investigation. Now, last Tuesday, Kennedy High School went through the same thing. They were safely evacuated because of an anonymous bomb threat. And then on on Thursday, another threatening message was directed at Waterbury Arts Magnet School, which did lead to the arrest of a 17-year-old. The suspect, however, is not a student at the school. Now, once again, we want to reiterate to parents in Waterbury that this threat has not been found to be credible at this point. However, they are just taking those extra safety precautions, having the shelter in place today, having extra police here on scene as well, just to make sure that everybody is safe. We will, of course, continue to follow this for you. We'll reach back out to the school and police as well to see if there are any other developments that we can let parents know about. For now, though, we are live in Waterbury. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61 News.
Julia, thanks so much. We'll check back in a bit. Meantime, at 6:05 this morning, a New Haven teen is facing charges accused of posing as an interested buyer for several cars on Facebook Marketplace, stealing those cars at gunpoint along with the titles for the cars, and then turning around and trying to resell them. 19-year-old Tihaja Ortiz Tucker is facing carjacking, firearm, and also conspiracy charges. Ortiz Tucker is also accused of 2 carjackings of Uber drivers from back in May. In those incidents, the drivers picked him up in New Haven, drove him to Wallingford, where those cars were also taken at gunpoint and then later found in Hamden.
We got breaking news overnight. The Bloomfield community mourning the loss of a beloved high school coach. Kevin Moses, the head coach of the Bloomfield boys basketball team and an assistant coach for the football team. Moses' family says he died after being diagnosed with cancer. Moses led Bloomfield High basketball to the Division IV state championship last year. The CIAC, which oversees all high school athletics, tweeted some condolences, calling him a bright light and an absolute champion for kids. The team's Twitter account honored him as a coach, father, and role model.
Well, both the communities of Glastonbury and Colchester are mourning after 2 teens were killed in a crash that happened on Sunday night. Now, police say 18-year-old Gordon Mack Southby of Glastonbury and 15-year-old Andra Spencer of Colchester died after a crash on Hebron Avenue near the Route 2 East on-ramp in Glastonbury. Southby was a senior at Glastonbury High and was driving a motorcycle. Spencer was a student at Bacon Academy and was a passenger in the back seat of the SUV. Counselors are going to be available for students at both schools. 4 people also died in a crash at this very same spot back in 2002.
A person had to be airlifted after a car hit a tree in Windham. State police said it happened on South Windham Road just before 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. The person was described as conscious and alert while being taken by Lifestar to a helicopter, Lifestar helicopter to a hospital, We're working to get more details about what exactly happened and how that person is doing now. And of course, we'll update you if we get any updates.
Former Plymouth Center School teacher James Eschert is expected in court today. And this is the first hearing for Eschert since the arrests of 4 other educators at Center Middle School for failing to report complaints against him. Now, the investigation started back in September of last year after Plymouth police received a complaint that Eschert had inappropriate conduct with students. According to police, the incidents happened over the course of several school years with several different students, starting as early as 2016 to 2017. Back in February, Eschert pled not guilty to the charges against him.
I legitimately thought it might have been staged, and I stand by that, and I don't apologize for it.
And don't apologize, Mr. Jones. Please don't apologize.
No, I've already apologized to the parents over and over again.
We know you're
I don't apologize to you.
Objection.
Don't apologize to you.
You're going to do it again.
Objection, Judge.
And today, the defamation trial against Alex Jones is expected to continue in Waterbury. On Friday, the InfoWars host that claimed the Sandy Hook tragedy was a hoax appeared in court, but he did not testify. Jones is not expected to testify today either, but is expected to take the stand again later this week. And with all these cases in court, another major lawsuit is being announced today, this one involving Randy Cox.
Yeah, this is the video behind me of when he was paralyzed while in police custody in the back of a police van. And his attorney, Ben Crump, is set to announce a lawsuit against the New Haven Police Department today. Cox, again, severely hurt when the van suddenly stopped. And remember, that van did not have any seatbelt, so Cox's head hit the back of it during that sudden stop. Cox's family said he was recently readmitted to a hospital because of complications from his injuries. Today's news conference is going to be held in front of New Haven City Hall at noon to announce the lawsuit against the police department. Be sure to check in with our afternoon and evening newscasts as we continue to follow this story closely.
And we are continuing to track Hurricane Ian before the storm is expected to hit Florida later this week. It is already causing a lot of problems in the Caribbean, dropping up to 8 inches of rain in the Cayman Islands on Monday. Now, the acting director of the National Hurricane Center providing an update Monday, warning residents in Florida, especially in the greater Tampa Bay area, to get ready. Now, in that region and in the Panhandle, we've seen residents preparing for the worst, filling sandbags, boarding up their homes, and stocking up on necessities. Some gas stations even starting to run out of gas yesterday as people filled up their generators.